This is Finlay Surgery 4 Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined with Eddie Hearn. The final day of fight week for Warrington Wood. How excited are you?
Very. I mean, great weigh-in. Both guys, as you'd expect, in tremendous condition, ready to put on a great fight. Sold out arena, brilliant undercard, everything that we love, really, and looking forward to a big night tomorrow.
You mentioned that both of them look good at the weight, especially Josh. Being the away crowd, he normally brings the crowd. He's got a nice home advantage, not this time. How excited are you to see Josh and his fans over in Nottingham?
I think sometimes, I mean, we saw it, I know obviously Dalton Smith's in his absolute prime, but the same kind of thing, like once you accept where you are and what you're up against, sometimes it can actually take you to another level in terms of what you have to do on the night. And Josh has sold a lot of tickets tomorrow. I mean, there'll be a lot of noise for Josh Warrington, but there'll be more noise probably for Lee Wood because he sold nearly the whole arena out himself. So, yeah, I think it's going to come down to who gets it right on the night. I think both guys are at the back ends of their career. Both guys are dangerous. Both guys are vulnerable. And that's what's going to make it for a thrilling fight.
One of the belts on the line is obviously on the co-main event. Could be tipped to be fight of the night. How do you see that one going?
I think it's a really tough fight for Ish. I think Ishi's a favourite in the fight. But Bellaou is like this strange guy. I mean, we love him. But I just don't know what to think. Like, I'm looking at him. Ish doesn't know whether to laugh, cry, chin him, like whatever. But tomorrow night he's got to get it right. Bellaou is awkward. He's ambitious. He's strong. He can punch, and it means a lot to him. Like, he will do everything he can to win tomorrow night. And Ish needs to get this win after a really important victory against Sam Gilly to take him to that next level.
I feel like Bellaou Fawaz, no one really understands that he's 38 years old. That's how weird of a character he is.
He's had a very stop-start career, so he's not had a career with a lot of miles on the clock either. So, and clearly he lives the life. I mean, that's the difference between someone. And a lot of these young fighters these days don't quite realise that the better you live your life, the longer you will have in the sport. And Bellaou's a good example of that, where, again, he's had his issues with, all kinds of things. I mean, remarkable to think that Bellaou Fawaz has been here for, virtually his whole life. He hasn't been granted a British passport. He's represented England as an amateur for a number of years. He's paid all his taxes, right? And tomorrow night he could win the British title, yet they won't give him a British passport. Like, there's not many people with a better story than Ishmael, and Bellaou is right up there. Two top boys, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
I suppose that fight, especially if Ishmael Davis comes away with a win, sets along his storyline even further to then maybe have that rematch with Josh Kelly. I know he's been in the limelight with his world title win.
It's difficult because obviously Josh Kelly is looking at the big fights, and Ishmael Davis is looking at Josh Kelly, And whenever you get a British fighter that wins a belt, very rarely do they look at the British champion to fight. I've had it before. I mean, it reminds me almost of, I'll never forget when we done Carl Froch and George Groves for the first time. Carl was like offended that this was even a thing. Do you know what I mean? He's like, George Groves, I'm Carl Froch. You know what I mean? It's like, I know, but he's mandatory. You know what I mean? And I would think I don't think Josh Kelly would react like that, but Josh Kelly's probably thinking, I want Xander Zayas, I want Boots, I want Charlo. And of course Ishmael Davis, rightfully so, is chasing that fight down. So only if it really makes sense for Josh Kelly is that fight a thing. So, but it's a British fight for a world championship, so it's always going to be appealing to us and fight fans. So, he's got his hands full tomorrow night first.
I'm glad you touched on Boots Ennis there, because it seems like he could be the next poster boy out in the States, but Josh Kelly would seemingly need to unify the division at the Stadium of Light or MSG for him to get that Boots Ennis fight. Not
really. I mean, look, obviously if the Ortiz fight doesn't happen, then it could be Josh Kelly next for Boots.
Is that what you'd like?
I mean, I want to make Ortiz against Boots. That's what I want to make, but that's out of our hands. And if we can't make it, we'll have to move, and look at other opponents, potentially Josh Kelly. So we'll have to see. But, Boots is a great fighter. Josh Kelly is a great fighter. Virgil Ortiz, unbelievable fighter. I mean, all of them. Let's just get them made.
I want to touch on the ZUFFA, the topic. Obviously, it seems like there's been a couple of promoters that have said you work for your dad, and online the consensus is that that's the only comment that really gets to you, maybe winds you up a bit. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, not really. I find it's kind of like what they say when they kind of run out of things to say. Do you know what I mean? I find it like a really lazy argument. Do you know what I mean? I mean, and that's, the stuff about Turkey and that sort of stuff, that's just like funny, I think. It's just banter. But I'm never going to get, I haven't got any arguments for it. You know, I mean, I'm chairman of the company, but I did work for my dad for years. It's his company. What do you want me to do? I mean, I'm his son. Like, I mean, it's a natural thing to do. So it never. I'm very proud to do it. Never rattles me. I just find it quite funny because it's always. But what surprised me with Dana is we're a month in. Do you know what I mean? Like normally, it's something after a few years when you've got you just fucking you're like, I'm done here. You work for your dad. It's like Shalom and Simon Jordan. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the end of the argument when you've kind of lost. But Dana went straight out the barrels for it, and that pleased me because I thought you're done already. You're cooked. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you're like. You're so out of character for him in that respect. Like
well, you seemed quite pally at the start.
Well, I'm quite pally. That's why it quite surprised me. But at the same time, I don't get disappointed by it because I know we're a threat. Because otherwise, he wouldn't react like that.
Well, I remember that you were quite proud to say the comment, "I'm the only person to turn a silver spoon gold."
Yeah, true. But listen, you played a hand you dealt in life, don't you? I was dealt a great hand, and we flopped aces. What can I say?